it's late, make my mistakes, and somehow I don't feel them, but it's bound to hit me later tonight. I wanna say you're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk, and I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. No, better than nobody else. It's hopeless confiding. Your love kills me every time. Stupid addicted to you, to you. I'm stupid addicted to you. Oh, can't get enough of you. Can't get enough of you. Oh, the pain is still the same. I tell you I don't feel it, but I've never been a liar. I'm a page that you can read. You're everything I wanted for a while and for the rest of time. I don't wanna fight for you, I just wanna talk, and I don't wanna spin around. I'm scared to call you, can't calm you down. Know me better than nobody else. It's hopeless confiding. Your love kills me every time. Stupid addicted to you, to you. I just can't get enough of you. Baby, can't get enough. You know me better than nobody else. It's hopeless confiding. Your love kills me every time. Stupid addicted to you, to you. I just can't get enough of you. Oh, I can't get enough of you, baby. I can't get enough of you. Oh, you know, baby, I just can't get enough of your love. Oh, I can't get enough of you. Stupid addicted to you. Oh, I'm stupid addicted to you. Oh.
I was checking out pictures of us. I never realized what I have lost. Now I know it, and it is so insane how I treated this like a game. You were my help when no one else were there to share affection. So let's try again. I'll go anywhere, just send me your location.
Alright everyone, how are you guys doing today? So, we have the LR or LAS Premade going on tonight. We got some heavy hitters up here. We got PVE taking on Return of the Middle Sticks here for that first place spot, looking for seat number 1. As the weeks do go on, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. I'm excited for both sides, and we're going to get right into draft. We have a couple of things going already, so we'll be right back. So right away we do see a Vladimir ban and a Pike ban and Senna ban. So overall, 2 of those picks seem more like comfort, but the Senna is just generally a great pickup and does just very well into almost every 80 carry in the game at the moment, and overall is just a stable pickup, and getting rid of that champion is just smart overall. And the Kazadin, we do not want to see Dallas on that one. What do you think, Wolven? What do you think of these picks so far? Or these bans so far?
I don't like the Cassina ban. I think the Cassina ban's a little bit troll to do the Cassina ban. Because in my opinion, Dallas is not a carry. Like, he is, but he's not. He's playing mid lane, and the way that I've seen Dallas played in the past games in mid lane is that he likes us to play a supportive role for his team. And that's the ban I like to see. You want to take out the 2 champions that Mako plays, and that is Senna, Pike. The another champion, I hope they ban. Panthers just went against it during a scrim. We'll just say it didn't turn out fun. Ooh, and they banned the Caitlyn. Interesting.
So I do think the buffs that happened to Caitlyn recently are very, very good. It's a push to push her back into the meta.
I have seen it actually, and to be honest, what you want to do with Caitlyn is be lethal tempo, and lethal tempo Caitlyn right now with her buffs are actually quite insane. I do agree with that. Especially with the Morgana on her side. Like, if she had Morgana Caitlyn, that combo is just insane. But the one thing that ROTM did not ban, and I'm surprised they did not ban, is the Flash Twitch.
Ooh, Twitch pickup is very, very strong right now. He did get buffed in the 80 section.
I tested on the PVE. His AP still does 1,000 damage.
Oh yes, the ratio barely went down.
So that's just insane. And then also, they didn't ban the Seraphine. Like, you always have to, if you're not first pick, you have to ban Seraphine. If the enemy team plays Seraphine, you have to ban it.
Yes, I completely agree with that.
Yes, she did just get nerfed. Yes, the 180-second cooldown on her R is insane, but it's still Seraphine. She's still a really good team fight champion, and I would not be surprised if I see the Seraphine go mid.
I definitely think Seraphine is strong enough to go both in that mid lane and in that supportive role, although it was the support role that did take the biggest nerf.
Insta-locking Gragas Lucian. I actually quite like this. It's quite interesting that they did not pick the Yasuo. I think Dallas does play Yasuo mid. So, but having the Lucian with the Seraphine ult, with the Gragas ult, is actually quite insane.
It is a lot of guaranteed damage, and it allows the Lucian to play super aggressively because he has a lot of tools to keep himself safe with the Seraphine, with the Gragas. But the Vi pick does help nullify a lot of that protection from the Gragas, from the Seraphine, with that unstoppable R, just making sure you're not allowed to play the game.
Ooh, and they picked the Vi. How do you feel about the Vi?
I think Vi overall, into certain comps, is very, very strong. She has the ability to initiate without being able to get caught out with that unstoppable R. She also has some strong early game ganks and has some decent damage with the Hail of Blades. And she does have double auto resets in her kit, so having that allows her to keep that attack speed going and just do a lot more upfront damage. And the Eclipse build is really, really helpful with that.
I do agree. And also I like the MF ban, and then again I don't like the MF ban because you should know that Lucian is definitely gonna go bot side. There is no reason for PVE not to have Lucian. I have the fire Lucian because I don't know if Mako plays Seraphine support, but I know Seraphine's kind of one-directional, a one-dimension champion. She's not hard. You press a couple buttons and she does, that's it.
Mhm.
But from looking at the Fly and Mako's playstyle, they like to play champions that are super aggressive, and Seraphine's not really a super aggressive champion.
She is more of an enabler rather than an actual full-on engage champ. She has
And
the
that's what
ability
you
to start
need for
fights.
Lucian. Yeah, you need an aggressive support for Lucian. Don't get me wrong, having Seraphine would be nice with Lucian, but in the laning phase against a Thresh Kaisa would be super hard for Lucian.
The Seraphine is very susceptible because of her low base health to getting ganked by both Vi and just generally dying in the 2v2 against that Thresh, against that Kaisa. If it is the Thresh who's able to start off the engages, it's a lot harder for that Seraphine to play it out. She's the one who has the longer range forms
And
of
then the
engage, but an
Ahri lock. I don't like the Ahri lock. I don't know about you, but there's way better mid laners, way better team fighters than Ahri. Ahri's a solo queue champion through and through. I hate to say it, I love Ahri to death, but Ahri is a solo queue champion. She is not a team comp champion. If you're gonna pick Ahri, if you want to play Ahri, play something like Zoe. Play that might be actually Lucian mid. And if it is Lucian mid, that Ahri's gonna have a hard time.
Even if it is either the Lucian or the Tristana, both of them are known for crushing mages up in that mid lane. And I guess
Tristana with Seraphine is a lot better synergy than Lucian Seraphine. So I'm assuming PVE wants the Tristana to be bot
and the
lane.
Nocturne did just get buffed, is very, very strong. There are multiple ways you can build that champion right now. And overall, he does fit a lot of what PVE wants to do. They want to play out of darkness, and forcing darkness instead of having to use vision control with a lot is very, very helpful.
Both these comps are high damage, high kill
Very high
participation. But I'm liking PVE's comp a lot more than Return of the Middlesticks. In Return of the Middlesticks, they do have really good team fight, they do have really good initiation, but the problem is PVE has so many champions that can just get on your backline super easily. You have Nocturne ult, you have Seraphine R, you have Gragas R, you have Lucian E and Lucian R, and then you W. And that Kled lock-in actually just counter what I just said. Kled just changed the entire game right here. If Kled can get ahead, if Peakley can get ahead on Kled, it is game over for PvE.
Definitely. Kled is one of those champions that I do think has a solid chance up against that Gragas. Gragas is known for being very, very oppressive up in that top lane, but having a Kled, he has the ability to shred armor, he does a lot of damage, and is very, very tanky overall. And Gragas relies on his tank stats to be able to deal with those bruises up in the top lane, but Kled is probably one of those champions that can actually deal with that Gragas poke because of his high health.
I do agree with that. Also, if you guys did not know, this game decides who is the leader of Pool B. So this game literally is the most important game in Pool B of the split, because this game decides who wins, who's basically first seed.
Definitely.
For Pool B.
This is do or die here. This is match of Pool B. This is the battle of the kings. We're gonna see what happens here. It's gonna be very, very interesting.
But like I was saying before, I really think you need a more of a teamfight champion with the comp that Return of the Middlesticks picked. I don't like the Ahri. I understand Oath likes to play Ahri, but I know Oath can play other champions like Swain and stuff like that. So if Oath could just play Swain, Diana, well, like if he plays, Ori, Victor, or even Zoe would be perfect here with their comp besides Ahri. I feel like the Ahri's gonna have a hard time in lane phase.
Definitely.
And outside of lane phase. I do not like the Ahri pick, and it just does not go well with their picks, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. So as I see, so Dallas is gonna be on the Lucian. I'm not surprised, because Lucian does beat Ahri pretty hard. All you need to do is literally eat her charms, and then Ahri is useless. Because all Ahri is that you land charms and you do your full combo. If you cannot do your full combo, Ahri's kind of useless.
So what I will say about Ahri is she is more like a jack of all trades, master of none. She is able to flex into many different roles that the team needs. She's able to play that mid-range style mage with her Q damage, with her W. She's able to play that assassin by R-ing forward with her E. She fits a lot of roles, but is no master at any of them. But the fact that she does have that AP damage is going to be very helpful.
And I could be wrong, because I know they did buff Frostfire Gauntlet, and Frostfire Gauntlet with Ahri right now is really disgusting.
You mean Everfrost, right?
I mean Everfrost, my bad. Yeah, sorry. I get those two mixed up all the time because I'm used to it being Frostfire Gauntlet.
No worries.
But Everfrost, which is basically what Super Soakers is now, we used to be Super Soakers and Spooky Ghosts. Everfrost did just get a good buff, and she's also really good with the new Cosmic Drive.
Yes, she
Cosmic
is one
Drive
of those.
is insane.
She is one of those champions that fits very, very well with the Cosmic Drive and Everfrost duo of items. It gives her a lot of HP to work with. It gives her a lot of cooldown reduction or ability haste. Very, very helpful, especially since Ahri's cooldowns are decently long in the early game, but they scale very, very well with ability haste. And the fact that they do have that flex pick of the Ahri, she is able to play into multiple roles, like with that assassination, with the more control-ish style mage play. There's a lot of ways that Ahri can fit into this comp. Yes, she isn't the best at any of them, but it does just give them that AP damage option. But with PVE's comp, they have one goal in mind, and that is jump your backline and annihilate everyone there. They have the tools to do it. Now we just have to see if they can execute on it.
Yeah, and the thing, because if you look at PVEs, PVE has a crap ton of damage, and they also have a crap ton of escapes on top of that. And the same thing goes with Return of the Middle Sticks. They have so much damage and so much escape. But the issue with Return of the Middle Sticks comp is that once they go in, they have to 100% commit to go in. They can't hesitate. PvE, on the other hand, they can hesitate.
PvE does have a lot of self-peel with that Tristana ultimate, with the Gragas ultimate, with the Nocturne just being able to provide a cloak of darkness, making sure they can do whatever they want. They can use it to escape, they can use it to go in. There's a lot of ways that PvE can play this game.
And I feel like everything is gonna go on, in my opinion, this entire match focus point should be on top lane. And the reason why I say that is because if, like I said, if Return of the Middle Six can get peakly ahead on Kled, it is game over for PvE. Because Kled is going to be that initiating tank for Return of the Middle Six to actually do team fights. And for PvE, it's literally you have to get your bot lane ahead, or you have to get your mid lane ahead. You cannot be top lane against you can't gank Gragas, because it's super hard to gank a Kled. So Bliss needs to realize, hey, I can't gank top, so I need to focus bot and I need to focus mid. And I feel like if he gets any of them ahead, they might be able to pull it off. But the problem is, it's 2021. Everyone should know ADC is still a bad rule. Even when you are fed on ADC, you can still die easily because you gain damage, you don't gain health, you don't gain armor with items. So
yeah,
their comp is literally do or die.
So with the way of the state of the game, There's just so much damage from every single champion in the game. Almost everyone can one-shot everyone. And because of that, ADCs do tend to get one-shot a little bit more because they are generally squishier, but they also have some of the highest damage output. So it's a very high-risk role now, and it's on the AD carries to play very, very well. One mechanical error could spell the doom of any team fight if the Lucian mispositions just a little bit.
This is the Flymaker we're talking about. This is the best bot lane in LAS Premade. Yes, Blue Milk is undefeated, but in my opinion, the Flymaker is the best bot lane duo in the entire LAS Premade. They are just insane together. I don't know if you guys seen on streams, on games I personally watched. They are just insane. It's up to Bpots and Matt to literally to actually try to fight them and see if they can go against them.
Definitely. So predictions will be open in just a second. We are going to go to a quick spectator delay. We'll see you guys in just a little bit as the game does begin. This is the battle for first, guys, so stay with us. We'll be right back. Don't want to miss this in any way.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies.
Game number 1 here of PVE taking on Return of the Middlesticks, and we're looking for some shenanigans up in the bot lane here as we see everyone, every single person.
It looks like Return of the Middlesticks is going for an early invade. I'm not surprised to see this. They are a really good level 1 engaged champion, and if Seraphine does not be careful, she might die here.
This is very, very dangerous. This could be it. Oh, but a beautiful, beautiful route. But ooh, that could have been very, very dangerous.
Flash
trade.
A flash. That's actually, in my opinion, that benefits PVE more than it does for Return of the Middlesticks, because they got no damage on the Seraphine. They got damage, and on top of that, Thresh raised his flash.
I do think that Thresh Flash is very, very valuable, and so is Seraphine's, but the fact that she does have the exhaust does help her out a little bit, because they can win out on those engages now. Because there is only one source of damage coming out from the bot lane. It is only going to be the Kai'Sa. Seraphine does output enough on her own, so having that exhaust is going to be very, very helpful. And the Vi did end up starting Q.
Ooh, Vi did
very, very unfortunate for her.
Yeah, that is actually really unfortunate. I always, what I was told with my coach was a sheep. You never want to start your ability until you know if you are invading, until you know the invade is actually gonna work. So until you see someone get hook, or you see someone actually get CC at all, that's when you want to get your first ability.
Definitely. So it is just a little micro air from Shade Slayer, but overall it's not going to affect his clear that much. He is going to go that E-second, and the Q does help out a lot. But Dallas, stuck under the tower, getting charmed up and ignited, and is going to fall. First blood over to Oath in the mid lane. Well played from that Ahri.
Yeah, Dallas got a little too greedy right there. He thought he'd go for the trade, but realized that, hey, Ahri's level 2.
And another fight going on in the bot lane. The fly very, very low. Ignite is ticking down, but it's not going to be enough because of the exhaust. And like I said, that exhaust is a very, very powerful summoner. Stops Bpots from being able to claim that kill. Both summoners burned.
And Return on the Middlesticks is coming out with a grudge. They're going full like full engage, full aggressive on PVE, which is what you want to see because, in my opinion, in a lot of teams, PVE is super aggressive teams. So other teams like to play passive in PVE, thinking, well, maybe if they play passive, would be better. But no, you need to play aggressive.
Ooh, but on the top lane, a gigantic trade happening against the Peak lane. He's doing so much damage onto the Gregs, but in the bot lane, we have another fight breaking out. Mako taken down super low from that Kai'Sa, but nothing's going to come of that. Everyone is going to be able to walk away with very low health bars. But Peak lane going up in again in the top lane, pulling Temple right back, and this might just be a solo kill. Peak lane take it down. Temple up in the top lane. Solo kills all over the place for the solo laners.
And that's what you expected to see. I'm actually surprised.
Oh, Beatbots is super low. Thank you, Directed Cam, for taking too long, and he's going to get blown up by the explosive charge. And Dallas might be in a bad spot. He is going to flash forward, but he's going to flash right into a charm, and Oath is going to be able to get away. Ignite taken down might be enough. He is going to be able to survive that one.
And wow, Oath is proving me wrong that the Ahri matchup is actually going in Ahri's favor. Normally, you would think Lucian would win these trades because Lucian is a lot more aggressive, a lot more damage dealers. But Charm is laning those. But Oath is laning those charms so well that that Dallas can't do anything. And it's actually like amazing to see that because, like I said, normally Ahri should lose that. But since he's laning those charms really well, to the exact point that he's actually getting either the assist or trades, or the kill, which is really good for him.
Is landing everything he needs to. He's landing every single charm, and he's making it work. And Shadeslayer is up on the wings, maybe looking for another gank up in the mid lane. Is going to miss the Q, dash away from the Lucian. Is going to keep him alive. Another trade up in the top lane. Peak going in on Temple once again, but he is going to use that auto on a minion by accident.
In my opinion, I don't think Gragas top is as good as it used to be anymore. Gragas did just take a major nerf to his Q, but it looks like Game Fighter was proving me wrong as he just does so much damage to Peak.
Peak taking just over half, or just under half HP. He does have the dismount ready though, but he is going to pull him up with the bear trap on a rope, and the Grease is already applied. Temple is in such a bad spot, forced to flash away, and Shadeslayer is not going to be fast enough. That cask is going to keep him from moving.
That was a really nice disengage by Gatefinder Temple. Yeah, he had a waste flash for it, so it does benefit PvE for getting both summoners from him now. But it was still nice that he was able to disengage like that.
Definitely. It could have been another kill, and Kled from ahead is very scary. But overall, well played from Temple, but Dallas doing a lot of damage in the mid lane, but Oak does have some sustain. He is going to land the second part of the Q, doing a lot of damage.
If people didn't know, Ahri's Q does...
That could be very dangerous, but the Spirit Dash 4 is not going to be enough. Dallas is going to be chunked, probably going to be forced to base very soon. But
that was actually
missing everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was a really good disengage by Dallas, able to go back to his tower the way he did, keeping Oath at a distance, saying, "Hey, if you do tower dive me, you're gonna die because I'm just gonna kill you."
Exactly. But down in the bot lane, we do see a giant wave looking to crash, and the Nocturne unfortunately does not have 6. This could have been a dive. Peak lane very low.
Yeah, like I said before, the bot lane has to match the Tristana Seraphine's aggressiveness, because if you don't, you're just gonna let the Seraphine run you over. And the Seraphine Tristana will run you over, because Tristana has such amazing wave clear because of her passive.
Her passive does help her out with that a lot on the E, but a hook from Metzer is going to land. It's going to be able to land a flay onto Bliss. The Nocturne ult is going to come out. Everyone is not able to see anything, but he is stuck in the middle of 4, and that's just going to spell his doom. Peakley did TP down. He is going to try, and he's going to land onto Mako with his ultimate. And Mako is going to be pulled back by the bear trap and flay backwards. Mako is dead, and the fly is going to fall just shortly after. Might be at the cost of Shadeslayer, though. And he is going to fall. Oh, the heal's going to come out. The shield from the Lantern is not going to be enough. He is going to fall. And Dallas able to pick one up on the back end of that fight. Peakley staying way too far forward there.
Yeah, that actually benefits, yes, PVE, Return of the Milsix did win that fight in the Dragon Pit, but that actually benefits PVE quite a bit right there. You just gave an extra kill to a Tristana and an assist to a Tristana.
Dallas might have overstayed here. Flash hook is going to go wide, but he is so low. Dallas open it up with the culling, but everyone is here. Fly has joined the fight and is able to take him down. The exhaust is coming out onto B-Pods, and he is just going to fall. No movement for you. And another jump over onto Matsuro. Is he going to fall? No, they are just going to be able to walk away, but that is 2 for the price of 0.
And that is exactly the reason I was talking about. Putting that extra kill on that Tristana was so bad for them, because you're giving that Tristana extra gold for her to buy her items so early. Now she has a pickaxe and a moon quiver.
She is 4-1. She is very, very strong right now.
So and I have seen the Fly play Tristana before, and he is insane with that champion. So for him able to be this far ahead super early is so beneficial for PvE.
And not to mention, Tristana takes towers incredibly quickly. He's able to use that charge onto the turret, and her giant attack speed steroid on the Q is going to help out a lot. But Bliss might just be cut out in a very, very bad spot. No blast cone for him. He's going to try and maybe steal away this red buff. He is able to get it, but he is going to fall. Shadeslayer able to claim revenge for his red buff there. Up the
that was actually a really nice invade. Well, it was a nice invade by Bliss, but it was a nice rotation by Return of the Middle Six. They rotated really well. If you didn't realize, Piccoli hit the blast cone where it literally just sent him back in the same place, so Bliss could not use the blast cone to escape.
No
which
escape
was really, which was really good to do that.
But all this gold is on the Tristana. She is very, very strong now, and that is going to be what that Vi has to gun for. He is going to have to use the ultimate every single time it is up.
Yeah, I do agree. PvE is kind of in a pickle because you want your gold to be spread out. Since all your team members does want to be fed, but
uh-oh, Dallas opening up with the culling, doing so much damage to Oath. The charm is going to go wide. Flash forward from both mid laners is going to mean that Oath is going to be able to walk away from that one. But he is in lethal range. He has to be very, very careful. But here comes Bliss, able to claim that one up with the darkness.
And yeah, that was actually really nice by Bliss. That was really nice by Dallas, because people don't realize Nocturne can only ult when he has vision of you. So the fact that Oath kind of stayed by his tower was kind of questionable, because he should just back to his second tier tower and just back.
Dallas
so
was able to
the
give
Nocturne
him the vision.
couldn't just do that. And the damage output coming from this Gragas is just insane right now.
So he does have that lost chapter, which leads me to believe he is building towards that Everfrost. Gives him some HP, gives him a lot of ability haste. It's a very, very strong item right now. Those buffs do help it out quite a bit. It's going to be very, very strong, but we do see Oath itemizing towards that Luden's Tempest. Does have that blasting one in his inventory.
Yeah,
so he's going for that one-shot.
I'm surprised he's going for the Luden's Tempest, because, like I said, Everfrost is just so good on Ari right now. But I'm not surprised too, because Luden's Tempest does give you a lot of damage, and also the mythic passive gives you magic penetration, which is what you want on Ari, because Ari does chew damage with her Q that comes back, and when she lands her E, all her abilities chew damage.
Oh, is going to be able to block that W from the Ari, but is going to be charmed up. Bliss doing a lot of damage with that lethal tempo. Flash from Gatefinder is able to land that one, but here comes Piccoli with that charge. He might be able to take that kill on Gatefinder, and Shadeslayer is going to try and do so much. No assault and battery though. Dallas is staying alive for so long, but Piccoli is just fighting him face to face. Matsuro is nearby. Bear Trap is not going to be able to pull him back. Ignite onto Piccoli, but Matsuro is there to keep his top winner alive.
And PvE, yeah, that was actually really nice by Dallas. He was peeling so much to the point where Thresh was forced to come up there to help.
That did force the rotation, which does, but the bot lane from the side of PvE was also there. They were there just to make sure that nothing happened. They were up in that mid lane.
And I don't know if you didn't saw, Dallas put a control wood in that.
Matsuro is coming in for a return. The E early, but he is not going to be able to claim that one. Matsuro is going to miss that hook. Does have the flash. I would have expected a flash early, but this is 2 dragons for PvE already.
Ooh, then yeah, so like I was saying before, so the reason why it benefits PvE so much is because you had all 3 members trying to kill one person, which was Dallas. You forced them off of Rift Herald, and now
here comes Dallas, landing the culling onto Piccoli, taking so much damage. Oath is going to fall down, and Matsuro is going to try and keep Piccoli alive. He is going to be able to jump over the wall, but this is just going to be a Rift Herald given away. But Shade Slayer is here. The hook is going to go wide once again, not able to land another one. But Dallas taking so much damage from the Shade Slayer, doing so much work here. Assault and Battery is still not available. Force the flash away. Peakley is going to remount. It's going to do so much Dallas. Dallas is going to fall down the backside, but so is Shade Slayer. Things are going very south for Revenge on the middle sticks right now. Matsuro is trying to flay them away, but Temple is going to E forward, but flash backwards from Matsuro is going to keep him alive. Peakley is going to fall, and the hook is going to go wide once again, and Matsuro is going to fall for that mistake.
That was just an insane fight. Oh, and if you didn't realize, PVE was able to secure the Rift Herald. So they got Rift Herald, 2 dragons, plus crap ton of kills.
Definitely.
Yes, you did kill Dallas, you did kill the Fly, but you just gave, I think gave 3 kills to Nocturne.
First tower as well. All the kills are on both this Nocturne and the Tristana. 5 on both of them. They're very
so I'm looking at the items. I'm really surprised that Kaisa did opt for the Kraken Slayer. I would have gone the Gale Force in this game because you have way too much things to dodge. I'm also surprised that Peakley went Gorge Drinker. I would have gone Sunfire Aegis on Kled because you guys don't have a tank at the front line for you. They have a bunch of bruisers. So once they engage, it's super easy for them to just fall and die.
We did see Peakley fall a couple times, so the build so far is not paying off, but Bliss going to jump in onto the Ahri. Spirit Dash is going to keep her in safety. Charm is going to go wide. Dallas dashing forward with the Gale Force with E. The Relentless Pursuit is going to keep him alive, and here comes the Culling. Going to do so much damage to Shade Slayer under the tower, but Dallas is going to stay alive. Nice heal from the Seraphine, going to keep him topped up there.
Yeah, that heal from Moonstone was actually insane. If you did not realize, that actually saved his life. But as I was saying, so the early game was looking as that Return to Middle Six was going to win, but PVE is just turning this game so far around, and it's because they're just scaling.
On to Mako might dispel his doom. Voidseeker going to land, and Mako is going to fall. Peakley taking up that one, but a TP coming in from Temple might mean that both of them are going to fall, but no, it is just going to be to peel his Dallas, but Dallas is going to use that Relentless Pursuit. Going to be able to get away, flash away from the charge, is going to keep Dallas alive, and a lot of summoners blown.
Yeah, a lot of summoners were blown, but a lot of crucial ultis were blown as well. Peakley, having Peakley blow that ultimate was actually super good for PvE. They also got Thresh ultimate. If you didn't realize, yes, Seraphine was in the middle of ulting. She didn't use ult. She still has ult up.
So the cooldown did not go through, which is very, very helpful for her, so that means they have it for the next fight.
Yeah, she did sell, but PvE can just force a fight whenever they want now. Because they can't, because Return of the Middle Six cannot engage.
Which I'm going to go wide once again. Dallas dashing forward, doing so much damage. Relentless Pursuit is not going to be enough. He's going to be able to get away with that one. But the Fly is just going to take this tower down in the bot lane. Bliss going forward once again, and instantly going to fall its Bead Paws, and a beautiful charm landed onto 2. Matsuro is going to fall, and so is Shade Slayer. Things are not looking very good. Maybe try for the trade kill, but it's not going to land. The Fly is able to live, and Bliss is able to claim up 2 kills down there.
Yeah, and like I said before, they Return the Middle Six they can't win fights anymore. They have to step back. They have to realize that they're far behind. They have to realize that they're getting outscaled. If Return of the Middle Six can get this to the late game, they win by scaling. But the issue is that they have put so many kills onto the Nocturne, onto the Tristana, to the point where PvE can actually end this game whenever they want.
Oh, Mako might be in a bad spot. The hook is going to go wide. Matsuro not able to land that one. But they might look to chase this down. They do have 3 there. Oath is going to miss the charm again, unfortunately. But the flay is going to land onto Mako. But Mako is going to flash away. Flash to safety. Flash to his Nocturne. Able to live that one.
So how do you think Return of the Middle Six can come back from this?
They need to try and get some Drakes. They need to sacrifice Shade Slayer a bunch of times, try and buy themselves some time, but the culling doing so much damage already. They need these Drakes. They need to buy some time for themselves because they do outscale. But right now they're sort of in a bad spot. They have given a lot of gold to those early game carries like that Nocturne, like that Tristana. But Bliss might just be able to take this one. It's down to 40 HP, and Seraphine is going to be able to take that one. Nice one from Mako. And Lucian is able to claim that Ahri down on the backside of that.
So PVE was able to secure the dragon, and then was able to...
Matsuro has to flash away. Nice Evergross from Temple. That's going to mean the death of both Shade Slayer and Matsuro. And Piklay stuck in the middle of 4. He's not going to be able to live. Deepos try and is going to take down the Gragas on the backside of the... But Dallas is going to be able to claim that one up too.
Yeah, this actually might be close to game. I don't see PVE losing this game. They are up quite a bit of gold. Tristana is up about almost 2,000 gold on Kai'Sa. Seraphine is up about almost 3,000 gold on the Thresh. Yeah, the entire PVE is actually at, like, super far ahead on gold compared to Return of the Middle Six. I really think Return of the Middle Six should just kind of like regroup, try to play for the team fights, and try to go for the picks. Because if you look at the map, PVE are always by themselves usually. So if they try to go for picks, try to get those shutdown golds, they should be able to come back in this game.
So what you're saying is that Return of the Middle Six needs to focus a little bit more on vision. They need to be able to see where the other members are so they can make those picks. They do know that a lot of them do like to be by themselves, but they also do know that rotations are made very, very well from PvE. They are able to rotate together, they know when to group up, they know when to be apart, so in order to take advantage of that, they do need to start placing some vision, they do need to get those risky wards out there, they need to make sure they can see what's happening in that enemy jungle so they can keep track of almost every player. Hook gonna go wide once again from Matsuro, not able to land that one on Dallas.
Yeah, the vision score is crucial in this game because if you look at it, Dallas has 21 vision score already. And it's only been 20 minutes in the game, and that's for mid lane. Mid lane usually doesn't have that much of a vision score, but Dallas's rotations and his ward placement is so amazing in this game. And his vision score is super high when he was having a super hard time in the early game.
So Oath might be in a bad spot here, but Shade Slayer might just be the one to pay for his sin. Temple's gonna walk into 4, taking a lot of damage. It's gonna be burst instantly before the fight even begins, but everyone is falling. Everyone is being taken down. Oath follows first, followed by B-Bots, followed by Master, followed by Shade Slayer. Everyone is just taking so much damage, and that front-loaded damage coming from PvE is gonna be what spells this game's end. They can end through top. They do still have that Rift Herald.
They still have Rift Herald. This is actually might be game for
game-ending push.
Game-ending push. This might be PvE might just take this home. I'm just super shocked with what just happened. They had a really good engage. They thought they could.
Ooh, the hook from Matsuro is going to land this time. Dallas going to be charmed up and is going to fall. B-Boss taking that one. R4, the Killer Instinct might be enough to kill Bliss, but no, he's going to flash the wall and stay just safe. Able to take that one alive. And unfortunately, Matsuro is not going to land that one, but everyone is zooming at the speed of light, not able to land that one.
That was a really nice hook by Matsuro on Dallas. He predicted that Dallas was going to E forward and he upwards, and he did, and that cost Dallas to lose a shutdown goal.
And it's on B-Pots. B-Pots
and giving it to the Tristana too, which is really good because Tristana, she's actually getting that kill. She's actually now not that far behind from the far. They still are 1,000 gold behind, but they can easily catch back up because it's Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is a hard scaling champion, where in the late game, it's super hard to fight against Kai'Sas.
Kai'Sa does have a lot of that upfront burst with that passive damage, and with the collectors, he does have a lot of damage from her Q. Ooh, Matsuro almost landed that one, Mako able to dodge that one, stay alive.
I don't know if you saw, but Return of the Middle Six actually got that skill. They stole that scuttle from PVE.
Ooh, Dallas able to dodge out of that one. Gonna Gale Force 4 into a charm. Gonna be burst before the fight even begins. But Oath is gonna fall in return for that. Bliss gonna take down Kaisa. And a nice charm from Mako is gonna secure this Drake. And this is gonna be Ocean Soul for PvE.
Yeah, I don't know why Return of the Middle Six fought there. They didn't have Peakley there. They needed to wait until Peakley was there. Peakley has a lot of items, and he is a crucial teamfight champion for them.
Uh-oh, Peakley might have just dashed towards his death. Rooted off by the Seraphine. Peakley is going to be able to iframe that, but the Everfrost is going to make sure he falls, and the Fly picking up another. It's kill number 12.
Yeah, like I said, you never want to underestimate Mako and the Fly. The Fly and Mako are a really good, like I said, they are the best bot lane in the Premade. And they show it right here that they are not to be trifled with.
They are out for blood, and this could be a Baron start. 2 inhibitors down means that it's going to be very, very hard for anyone on the side of Return of the Middle Six to contest this one. And this is just going to be a free Baron for PvP, and this is going to be very rough because the only great wave clear that they do have is going to be Oath in that mid lane. He is the one with that magic damage. He is the one that is going to be able to clear those waves, but they only have one source of that.
Well, don't forget, Clyde does have really good wave clear since he does now have time mat now. And then there is Kaisa with her Q. So they have decent wave clear, but the only issue is that they're so far behind that they can't really fight in power super minions with Baron.
A lot of the resistances of those super minions is going to be that armor, and unfortunately they just don't have a lot of items to counter that. They are just behind in so many ways. And it's
if you
very,
look at
very
it,
hard.
Dallas is working on his third item. Bliss has his third item, working on his fourth item. Gay Fun and Temple is working on his third item as well. The Fly has his third item, and Mako is working on his third item, and he already has his Staff of Flowing Water and Moonstone. And if you're wondering, Mako has done over 2,000 healing on Moonstone right now, and it's only been 24 minutes in the game.
A lot of healing
and
from that.
On top of that, Thresh, Matsuru, has not completed an item.
He is very, very far behind, and this is going to be a third inhib. This could be the game already. It's looking very, very rough. They have to look for something. They have to defend these Nexus towers because they just have a lot of ways to take down towers with the Lucian, with the Tristana. It's going to be very, very rough if they do give these towers, but they just do not have the wallets. They're so far behind. Matsu are going to try and land one. Not going to be able to, but a 2-man encore is going to mean the doom of Revenge of the Middle Sticks. Ooh, nice Zonias is going to keep him in the middle of 4. Oath going to fall. Matsu are going to try and hook someone in the base. Not going to be able to, and this is going to be game number 1. Going to be the
13-2 Tristana with a 10-4 Nocturne. You do not want to see that.
Very, very scary indeed. And that is going to be game number 1 going for...
That was an explosive game.
Very, very explosive game. Very, very fun one to watch.
At first, you thought it was going to be Return of the Middle Sticks, and then PvE just turned it around. And the way they turned around was just amazing to watch.
They were definitely able to keep themselves alive there. And they weathered that early game. They were able to make it work. And they took home game number 1. And that means a lot here. This is going to give them momentum for game number 2. We will take a little bit to discuss this game. But real quick, it is going to be that PvE who do win that. So congratulations to those who did win the bet. Great job for all of you. So we'll be back in just a little bit as we do prepare for game number 2. And you guys can vote for your player of the game. But overall, who do you think deserves player of the game, Mr. Wolven?
I say Nocturne. I think Nocturne ults were really on point. His rotations were really good. He saved so many of his teammates really well. I think Blitz deserves player of the game right there. Yes, the Fly was 13-2, but in my opinion, Bliss was MVP of that game.
Bliss played very, very well. He was able to use that Cloak of Darkness to do so much work, that paranoia, able to keep everyone very, very scared. So we'll see you guys in just a little bit. We are going to go on break as we prepare for everything, so see you guys in just a little bit. We'll be back for game number 2, and we'll see if Return of the Middle Six is able to clap back here and claim some revenge. We'll be right back. You don't want to miss it.
got you no matter what. I've been trying to find a way, spent a couple dozen days, but this is all I got. Yeah, so just let me go, let me go, let me go. It ain't working no more. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Baby, just stop holding on and take it from me. You will feel better, you will feel better. It's hard to believe. You will feel better, you will feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight. Just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you will feel better, better without me. Better without me. Please don't make this any harder, babe. Please don't make it harder than it already has to be. No, no, whoa. Wipe those tears out of your eye. We both need a different life, so don't beg me not to leave. No, just let me go, let me go, let me go. It ain't working no more. Let me go, let me go, let me go. Baby, just stop holding on and take it from me. You will feel better, you will feel better. It's hard to believe. You will feel better, you will feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight. Just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you will feel better, better without me. Better without me. Don't need a doctor just cause you lost me. Don't need to open the wine. No medication, antidepressants. All you need is time. No communication, ringing me on FaceTime. Baby, I ain't picking up. And next time you see me, you'll be completely glad that we broke up. Take it from me, you'll feel better, you'll feel better. It's hard to believe. You'll feel better, baby. There's no need for a fight, just repeat after me when I tell you goodbye. Give it 3 weeks, you will feel better, better without me. Better without me. Better without me. Better without me. Better without me.
Welcome back, everyone. So it is going to be Mr. Bliss taking home player of the game for game number 1. And yes, it was that jungler affecting everything. He played it incredibly well, used that paranoia to his advantage. He was just able to be all around the map. Everywhere he needed, he was able to jump onto any targets that were required of him. And overall, just well played from him. Good job for Jake, playing super, super well. But what do you think, Mr. Wolven, before we do get into draft of game number 2? Who do you
I think they need to realize that Bliss is a insane player. Doesn't matter what position he plays in. As you saw him with the LIS yesterday, I think he was on he was on Phantoms. They beat he was on Phantoms and they beat the top team, which was Spartans.
Definitely.
When he was playing ADC. So on top of that, he's now playing jungle, and he showed that, hey, I can play any position, and I can still carry the game, or I can still be a team player, and and do really good team fights, like how he just presses R, and then Tristana just wreaks havoc because they can't see Tristana go in.
So we are going to get into this draft real quick. We can finish up in a little second, but let's see what everyone has in store for us. There are a couple bands already coming through.
It looks like the same bands are going up for PVE, the Vladimir and Hecarim, which makes sense, both as really strong champions. Oh, and they're taking out the Thresh.
So no Thresh for Mr. Matsuro today, unfortunately, in game number 2. So we'll see what they do pick up. But
it looks like PVE. I mean, it looks like the middle sticks did take out Pike, Senna, and Nocturne. So I'm kind of curious what Bliss is gonna take out next. Oops, sorry.
No worries. So it is going to look like a Seraphine, however, for Return of the Middle Six. Not going to give that one away this time. And PVE are going to look to answer here. We'll see what they do pick up here. Oh, going to be the Caitlyn. It's either going to be a Morgana or a Lux here. We'll see which one it is. It is going to be the Morgana.
This is the bot lane I was actually talking about. This is the one duo that actually destroyed so many bot lanes. I just had
Morgana.
a scrim. I had a scrim with them, and literally, they turned my support into a feeder. How many times they just rooted and killed him.
Caitlyn Morgana is one of those deadly combinations you never want to let through, especially if Caitlyn is getting these buffs. But it is going to be the Jinx answered, so they are just looking for that late game hyper-scaling champion here. And they're playing Return of the Middle Six is playing only for late game with that Ornn.
And that's actually quite interesting. Like, I understand you want to play for late game, but what are you going to do against Caitlyn, Morgana, and Gragas' early game? Like, how you guys are going to contend against that? Because I feel like you're sacrificing so much.
I feel like
and you also just pretty much said, hey, Seraphine's going to be bot lane with Jinx. I don't know. I don't know how to think about this.
I feel like Ord is one of those champions, if he does make his rune and item selection very, very carefully, I think he is one of those few tanks that is able to stand up to the Gragas like the Malphite, I believe. With that Comet, they are able to match that poke, match that early game damage. As tanks, Ornn and Malphite are very, very high up in that damage department, so they are going to be able to match that, but we'll see what
it looks like they're taking out the Cassidy, which is actually really good for PV to take out if their main played. I think Oath actually does play Cassidy. So it looks like PV actually thinks that Seraphine is going to be support, which I don't blame them, because Oath is a carry kind of style. Like his play style, he has to carry. He likes to carry. So I don't think Seraphine really goes as his playstyle. Also, there's not really many supports that can contend against Morgana and Caitlyn.
Definitely not. I do feel like the Caitlyn Morgana lane is incredibly difficult to play for almost every single bot lane. Every single bot lane combination you can think of, Caitlyn and Morgana is very, very good into it. Especially now that the buffs do come through, but Jake is going to be playing that Rek'Sai. We've seen it played in pro play.
So yeah, it looks like PvE is just going straight for the early game.
We're looking only for the early game here. We're not looking back. They're looking to take home this game within 20 minutes.
And yeah, if you didn't realize, they also do have the late game, because if Caitlyn does go lethal tempo, she has that really good late game to just keep on peeling.
Caitlyn is one of those champions that has a really weird damage curve. She is super strong in the late game. incredibly weak in the mid game, but spikes incredibly hard as 3 and 4 items do start to come in. So she is one of those champions with a damage curve. She is not strong at all points of the game, but if she is allowed to get ahead, it doesn't even matter. But a Kayn following through, that Gragas is looking to be ganked quite a bit because a red Kayn is looking very, very nice here.
ROTM, what are you guys thinking right now? I am actually really confused of what your team comp is wanting to do. You have decent team fight, but then you had the locking Kayn.
Kayn does play team fights very, very well, and he is also one of those champions, if he does go that blue form, is very, very good into Caitlyn Morgana, can bypass a lot of what they're going to try and do with the move speed, with the multiple dashes in his kit. He's able to get away with a lot of that. And Anivia does help with that as well, going to be able to block off some pathways for a lot of
I would, if instead of a Kayn, I would rather see a Jarvan, or maybe a Sejuani, or maybe a maybe Vi again. I rather see. I just don't think the Kayn fits with a comp. Because when Kate goes in and then he presses R, he's the only thing you have now is Ornn. So what is your team gonna do then?
I think a lot of this is going to be very focused on peeling back because of that, because they have the long range ways of fighting with that Ornn ultimate, with that Seraphine ultimate. They are just going to look to play backwards. They're going to look to disengage a lot of fights and do damage as they are kiting backwards.
I have never seen Dallas play Victor.
We'll see if it works out here. But Caitlyn is one of those AD carries that loves to go forward. She loves to pressure. So we'll see if the backwards team fighting comp of Return of the Middle Six is going to mean a lot into PVE.
Yeah, I'm just really interested. I just also so it's pretty much they're saying that Jinx and Seraphine are gonna be bot lane. I feel it's a really bad matchup against Caitlyn Morgana. Yes, Jinx did get that buff. Yes, Jinx does have that rocket poke, but the issue is that Morgana has Black Shield. So all Morgana needs to do is just put Black Shield on Caitlyn, and Caitlyn just wreaks havoc with poke. I feel like Return of the Middle Six has to go for the team fighting. They have to go for the five-man team fights. I feel like if any of them tries to 1v1 anyone in PvE, it's not going to turn out good for them.
They do get very, very highly outdamaged in those single fights, in those skirmishes, but when team fights do start to come out, that Jinx damage is very, very insane. And so is that Anivia damage. They have a lot of area of effect damage, and that's going to be very, very helpful. But having a Victor is going to deny some of that zone control. So there is zone control from both sides.
That's another thing, is that PvE locked in Victor. Victor can just press his cage and can slow and stun someone who is trying to engage. So and then on top of that, you have Rek'Sai ult, where Rek'Sai can just bury herself and then lunge at someone, and then you have Gragas ult on top of that. And then, because Gragas can just R everyone backwards, while Morgana presses R, and then Morgana can stun them at the same time. So PvE has so much setup for the Caitlyn to push down her traps, that literally PvE's comp relies solely on the fly getting ahead.
It is very, very much on the fly and Oath to carry. Oh, sorry. It is on the fly to do all of this damage. Victor is very, very reliant on the zone control. So if he's not in a very nice spot, it's going to be hard for him to output damage, because he can get pressured very, very easily. But he can also apply that pressure if he is allowed to get ahead, if he is able to get those upgrades.
So I'm actually curious if Kayn's actually going to go blue Kayn or red Kayn. I would rather see a red Kayn here than a blue Kayn. The reason why I say I think red Kayn would be better here is because you need another frontliner. You need another heavy engage champion that can just go in and just knock people up, slow them as much as possible, try to delay them as much as possible, so the Anivia, so the Seraphine, and so the Jinx can get off so much damage.
Personally, I think that a blue Kayn could fit very, very well in here, because the four champions on ROTM, they are very, very focused on long-range team fighting, and if they're focused on that team fight, if PvE focuses on that, you can have a Kayn slip in on the backside and take out a Victor, take out that Caitlyn, and that's what he has to do. I think that's what Shadeslayer is going to have to focus on. He's going to have to try and get those flanks. He's going to have to try and play within those pockets of vision and take out the Fly, take out Dallas. That's what his job is today. His job isn't to play with the team. His job is to take out the carries. And ROTM's job is to just stay alive in these team fights, peel backwards while Shadeslayer does his job. I think that's how they have to play.
I do agree. Like I said, a Blue Cane could work here, but the only problem with the Blue Cane here is that because Blue Cane is really squishy, and if Blue Cane cannot get in and do the damage he needs, he's just going to get annihilated before he can touch any of the carries.
That is very, very true. He is very susceptible to getting burst, but I think that's how they have to play it here. Like Red Cane doesn't really fit very, very well to their comp. It has to be the Blue Cane. He has to be that initiator. He has to be the one to fly in from the side and take out the carries, because otherwise it's very, very hard for the rest of RTM to play into PVE. PVE has a lot of zone control, a lot of non-committal CC that they can land. So it's going to be very, very interesting here.
Yeah, no, and it's also interesting that they let Gayfighter Temple get Gragas again. He played that lane so well. Yeah, he did die to Kled, but it's Kled. Like, you don't win against Kleds. It's not really, a matchup Gragas actually wins. But he only died once to Kled that entire game.
One solo kill.
So he only did one solo kill on top of and then Gayfighter just really amazing ults and really, really good engages. And he got to the point where he could 1v2 the jungle and the top lane at the same time. It's just surprising that they let him have a champion like that again. I would have banned it personally. I would have banned Udyr. I think the Udyr is a weird ban. Like I said, I don't know how I feel about Return of the Middlesticks' comp. I think it's just really awkward and weird. Yes, they have good team fight, but in my opinion, the Kayn just does not fit.
I think the Kayn is a pivot pick here. It doesn't really match, but I think that's the point. They're looking for this Kayn to do damage to the backline, and that's it. He's not meant to play with the team, and sometimes that can work. And into a comp that has relatively immobile backline, I think that's the play, because it's going to be that Gragas, it's going to be that Rek'Sai jumping onto that front line of the Ornn and the Anivia, the two mid-range engaged champions.
Instead of Kayn, you could have, if you want to play like, you don't want to be with the team, you could have just picked Fiddlesticks. And just have Fiddlesticks just guide their backline with his ult.
I think Fiddlesticks is a decent pick, but they would be heavily spec'd into that AP with the Ornn, with the Anivia, and the Fiddlesticks.
Well, that's true.
So they do
AP
need that.
Be a lot higher.
They do need that physical damage from the Kayn. They need that red damage. They need him to be able to jump into a backline and just assassinate someone. And I think that's his job here. But it's going to be very hard for him to do that.
I do agree. I do agree, but like you said, it's just going to be super hard because you have the PvE just has so much damage and so much CC to just say, no, you can't come on us. So in my opinion, it's solely up to our ROTM's jungle to get it ahead. To get his early form as soon as possible. And for PvE, it's solely up to the Fly to get ahead on Caitlyn. If the Fly and Mako can get ahead on the bot lane, PvE can easily win this game. If ROT jungle can get ahead, it could be their game. If B-Pots can play well with Kayn and get onto the squishies.
I think that ROTM is very, very happy to fight front to back. They have the DPS to be able to do that with that Anivia zoning, with the Jinx rockets just pelting damage from afar. They do not need to go for the squishies. The only person that needs to do that is Shadeslayer. So they just want to play front to back. Both teams are very, very comfortable. Actually, no. To fly on that Caitlyn. Caitlyn is not great into tanks. She is not known for being able to take down champions like that Ornn. Even with the lethal tempo, her attack speed scaling
that's why
is
I'm
very,
saying,
very low. So
that's why I'm saying if Kayn can just get on her and just kill it in an instant, or just bait her out so much, Peekly can just run in there and just be that tank.
I think it's going to be very, very front to back oriented, except for the Kayn, and the Fly wants to be up front getting that damage onto the squishies. But we are going to go to a quick break. It is going to be a very, very interesting game here. Very, very different identities for both teams, so we'll see what happens, but we'll be right back, and hopefully we'll see a series out of us tonight. We'll be back in just a second.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like them, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come with me. I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free.
Alright folks, welcome back. Here we are, game number 2, turn of the middle six, taking on PVE. PVE having that slight advantage right now, looking ahead with that series lead, but we'll see if Return of the Middle Six is going to come back fighting, taking home
And
game number 2.
it looks like it's just going to be a normal 5v5 for both teams, which, you know, it's not surprising.
Just a 5-point.
I would like to see Return of the Middle Six actually go for the invade. I feel like they would win the invades, in my opinion, because they need that lead. They need to get that early game as soon as possible. They need to get ahead, so PvE's early game does not just run them over. Also, it looks like Kane is going to go right Kane. So that's a, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not the best thing in the world either for them. On top of that, it looks like Jinx also opted for the Conqueror. I personally do not like this build. I think Conqueror on Jinx is super troll.
If they do see Jake here, if they do see Bliss, they can't look for something. The stun gonna miss from Oath. That's gonna be a lot of damage onto Matsuro already, even through that bone plating. But nice ward placed by Bliss down there, seeing that red or blue buff. So it's gonna be some information already given over, and good trade from
that's
PVE.
a really good PvE ward. You know, you got that early ward. You got that early vision onto the Kane, so you know where Kane's gonna be at. You know if he's gonna be, you know, if he's gonna clear his entire red side and just get the blue, or if he's just gonna get left or he's gonna get red and go to blue. I'm assuming if Kane, if he wants to go red Kane, he has to gank top, because that's the only lane he can gank to get ahead.
It is gonna be that top side that he is gonna have to focus on, and the Gragas is gonna be easy stacking for him, but you're just never going to be able to kill him, though. But nice stun from Oath. Nice trade as well. Procking that electrocute very, very early on.
Yeah, that was actually a really good trade for Oath. Oath played that really well. You know, he's taking that poke on purpose so he can land his stun, so he can land that early damage onto the victor.
And Oath landing another nice trade onto Dallas. And Dallas is trading back, though, not letting that just happen. But electrocute is going to do some more damage. And good plays from both mid laners, but it's very advantageous for Oath to go for these early trades because he has the TP, but nice stun! And electrocute proc once again. Because Oath has that tier, he is going to be scaling a lot faster now. But he also has no health potions anymore. But Dallas is left on 1 as well.
Oh, looks like Kane is looking at
Here
bot
comes
side.
Shade Slayer coming in, level 3 already. Gonna miss everything though. A lot of damage going on to him already. He might just be killed here. Heal is forced already. And flash forward from Mako is gonna be able to take that one. And Matsuro is stuck in a bat swap. Flash forward from Bliss is gonna be able to take that one. The Unburrow auto gonna take that kill. But this might just be a solo kill in the mid lane. Dallas gonna fall. Oath taking that one home. Great play. Another solo kill for Oath in that mid lane. What do you think of that play?
That is an insane play by PVE. At first, you thought it was gonna be turning the middle six because, you know, Kane went in there, he was doing well, and then Morgana just said no.
They need to be very careful about that, and that's just giving Caitlyn advantages.
Yeah, you're letting Caitlyn, you set up her traps really well. You bide bide so much time for Rek'Sai.
Nice trade into the top lane. Temple is very, very low. Gonna be forced to TP back there, but well played from Peakley, using that early game Ornn damage.
Yeah, that's what you expect when you go up against an Ornn. You know, you don't expect the damage him as much. You don't expect to out damage him because Ornn has his passive, which is really good.
That brittle auto does a lot of damage, a lot of max percent health damage. But Dallas gonna be stunned up again in the mid lane, taking so much damage. Oh, playing this lane very, very well.
Yeah, so you know, it's what we expect with Anivia. If Anivia lands that early stuns, that early roots, she can just run over you in the lane because there's really not much Victor can do. Yes, he does have phase rush, but the problem is you can't use phase rush with the stun.
One thing to note, oh, it might be caught out here. The stun is not going to follow through, but Dallas is stuck on the wrong side of the map. And he's going to be slowed by that Seraphine, and he's going to take so much damage, might fall, forced to walk into the enemy jungler, but Temple taking so much damage up on the top side, thank you, directed Cam. But they are going to be chasing for this one. The stun is going to land, nice from Oath, and Kane is going to jump into that wall, and this is just going to be assist city for everyone. Dallas taking so much here. Is he going to fall? Flash forward from the Seraphine is going to take that one, but Caitlyn going to be able to take another kill to fly, already 2-0. Well played from the bot lane.
And to be honest, you did get Dallas, you did get the Victor, but that benefits PVE. You just gave another solo kill to Caitlyn, and you do not want to see that.
It's very, very scary to give Caitlyn those kind of kills. She's very, very far ahead. Caitlyn is one of those champions that loves to snowball to get away from that mid-game curve, that mid-game fall-off. And giving her the opportunity to get away from that, but nice root. It's going to mean so much damage onto B-Pot. It's taken so low, but Shadeslayer is nearby. Might look for something, but it's going to walk away.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that Shadeslayer's been focusing bot lane more. I thought he was wanting to go top lane to get his form, and that's what he needs to do. But it looks like he is trying to get blue form.
He might
I
be
could
going
be wrong,
for that.
which is weird because he brought Conqueror. Usually when you see Conqueror, you think of Red King, but if he goes Blue King with Conqueror, I feel like it's more like I feel like you're emptying at that point because you're not looking for drawn out fights. You're looking to go in, burst as quick as possible, and get out.
It's not the worst thing in the world because Blue Cane does benefit from some high AD ratios, so having that constant influx of AD as you do fight is going to help out a lot, but Dallas taking a lot of damage in the mid lane, but he's also keeping up his CS. He's very, very far ahead of Oath at this point, even though Oath does have that kill. He is just 50 or 100 gold ahead now. Gold gap is closed.
And then, let's see, Dallas is at 76 on his hex, so he's really close to getting his first
Shadeslayer might be caught in a bad spot here. Trying to cast him. A nice flash forward from Temple, and that's going to be a kill and a scuttle going over to Bliss.
And yeah, that's actually really beneficial for PVE. They cut off the Kane. That means they're putting Kane back further, which is, you don't want to see that on Kane. And on top of that, they just secure vision onto Ripple.
Temple taking a lot of damage from that Ornn. Peakley Temple not able to match that damage from him. Ornn just doing so much work there.
Yeah, like I said, it's what you expected from Ornn's W passive. Brittle is just so good on him. If you can land his Brittle, it's basically like it's getting hit like with a rock. It hits super hard, and especially since Peakley is known for playing really well at Ornn.
So the way Ornn works is a lot of his damage is percent health, right? That's how the Brittle works. So because the Gragas is not building very many resistances and Gragas has relatively high scaling, but a TP is coming down here in the bot lane, Peakley is going to try and land something. Directed Cam is not letting me see this, but Dallas already taking so much damage. Ornn is coming out, is going to miss, unfortunately. Mako's so low. Is this going to be a flash forward? No, it's not. They are able to walk away with skin in their teeth. I would have loved to see B-Pot's flash forward there, but Oath was on the worst end of that trade. He still has passive.
Dallas needs to be careful
Dallas
because
playing very, very well.
Peakley is coming up.
Peakley is on the way, and this could be Dallas falling here. Q is going to land. The Brittle Auto is going to follow through, but Dallas is going to be able to walk out of that one with that stun zone. But that is going to be Drake falling. Mako almost stunned up here by the Chompers, but the Fly's putting out so much work. But here comes the Gragas. He is on the way, has ultimate 2, and Matsuro, once again, caught in a bad spot. B-Pot's forced to flash, but that's a Rek'Sai doing so much true damage with that Chomp. Uh-oh, Shade Slayer also caught in a bad spot. R4 from the Rek'Sai. Kane only level 5. Nice from Peakley trying to peel his jungler. But Bliss is so far ahead. Bliss is so strong and doing so much work here.
And this is exactly what PvE you want to see for PvE. You want to see them just do so much damage and just roll over these late game scaling champs because, yeah, you pick late game scaling champs, but the problem is, can you get the late game?
It's not looking like it so far. Everyone other than Peakley is doing very, very well.
There's also Oath. Oath is doing really well too. Yes, he's losing in CS, but he's just out poking Dallas in the lane.
Definitely. But, oh, Temple is in a bad spot. Oath is rotating up here from that mid lane. This Glacial Storm might be enough. The wall is trying, but not able to land. But nice stun. Explosive Fast is going to come out, force Peakley away. And a slow following through, but the Brittle, the auto's not going to land. Slow from the Anivia once again. Kane dashing forward is going to use that creep, and he's going to take that kill. And the Umbral Trespass is going to take that one. And
that was a really good play,
fight.
really good rotation by Oath. Oath being there, using his R to his advantage, slowing the Gragas, so Gragas can't just press E and just walk out of there.
Well played from Oath. He's able to take that one, and Dallas going to be stunned up again. Oath doing so much damage here, but it's going to be stunned up, and the Chaos Storm is doing so much work. Dallas is going to do some damage under the tower. Is he going to be able to take him out before it runs out? Resurrection is not going to be enough. That Phoenix is not rising today. No flying for you, Flyboy.
And that was a really nice counter engage by Dallas. Dallas used his cage to his advantage, slowed the Nivea, and then also Rudy and
This
Nivea.
could be a dive. Mako taking a nice route onto Matsuro. But Shade Slayer stuck in a bad spot. Gonna be jumped under tower, and it's gonna fall. The Rek'Sai doing so much work here in this early game.
Yeah, Rek'Sai with Power's Claw is actually insane. A lot of people don't realize how good it is, because you can press R, and then as soon as you press R, you can press Power's Claw, which makes you lunge again.
So we see here that it's not looking very good, but nice from the Fly, able to get away from that one with the help of his Morgana, but so much damage already. And here comes the ace in the hole. Matsuro take it to almost 1 HP, just over 100 there. And this could just be a dive, or this could just be first tower. But here comes Shade Slayer looking to make something happen.
Yeah, if Shade Slayer can actually do something here and get the shutdown gold from Mako and the Fly, it could put him back.
He comes. Is going to just settle for the stacks. Nice unstoppable from the Ornn, going to stop that from following through. Peakley doing a lot of work here. Temple is matching that damage though, because he is building that AP towards that Everfrost. But Shade Slayer taking a lot of damage here from Mako and the Fly, but the Fly might have just been caught in a bad spot. Humble Trespass is going to land. The Fly taking a lot of damage, but no! Right into the root, but the Rocket, Super Mega Death Rocket, is going to claim that one. Mako going to stopwatch the charm, but for what? He is stuck in the middle of 4 and is going to fall. Nice shutdown over to that Kane.
Ooh.
Oh, solo kill for Temple is going to take that one. Peakley going to fall, but there's another fight going on in the bot lane. Bebots is trying to stay alive. Dallas is there. Bliss is there as well. And Matsuro is going to be dove under his own tower, going to be chomped under, going to be taken out, but a nice chompers from Bebots is going to take this one. Dallas might have bitten off more than he can chew. He's stuck at 1 HP, is able to walk it out. But
yeah, that was
very unfortunate dive.
Yeah, that was actually beneficial for for that trade for return to middle stakes, and it was actually good for PvE as well, because you got a solo kill top lane, plus you got the support kill, and I guess Kane died too. I didn't realize Kane died in the process of that too, but you also gave another kill to your Jinx, so you're trying to get your Jinx to scale super far ahead. But the issue is that the Fly is almost up 50 CS on this Jinx.
He's very, very far ahead at this point in the game. He also got all 5 plates, so he has a big chunk of chain sitting in that wallet. But this could be another engage on Mako, but no, they're just going to walk away each other.
Yeah, if you look at it, every single laner, besides, I guess you can say surprise support, PvE is winning CS.
And that's where most of this gold lead is coming from here. Sure, there's a lot of kills, but it's a CS, but Mako might be trying to bad spot the wall, not going to put him on the right side. And Oath taking a lot of damage from the Caitlyn already.
Yeah, like I said before, Caitlyn with that lethal tempo, Caitlyn, and then with the Kraken Slayer, it's just so good with her right now because it makes her just be able to just poke because she has that range to do it. She has that range to sit back and just keep on auto and keep on.
So the Dragon is going to be taken over. The Super Mega Death Rocket not going to land, unfortunately. So that is going to be second Drake over to PVE, sitting at 1-1 apiece. So they are looking to stop ROTM from getting those early Drakes, from pushing it forward. But overall, well played from every side right now. They are playing it very well, but it is a 6k or almost 7k gold lead at this point for PVE.
Yeah.
But Peakley putting in some work here at the top lane. But the Fly taking a lot of damage from Anivia. Well played from Oath. He's doing a lot of work here on that pick, but he is behind.
Oath is playing. He's playing really well on Anivia. It's sad to see it happens that you do lose. You are losing in CS. You are losing in gold because of team fights and stuff like
might
that.
be solo killed again. No, he's gonna be able to walk away from this one. Shadeslayer sitting in his back pocket might look if Temple does go for that counter engagement at the tower, but nothing's gonna come of it.
And like I was saying before, because people, everyone's like, well, like he Peakley won lane last game. Yeah, he won lane last game because of
taking so much damage. The Chaos Storm gonna take that kill. Dallas is just gonna make himself do so much damage, and down goes the Anivia. Oh, taking another death. Death number 3 for him. But Temple is looking for something. Blitz is there too, and Mako's on the wings. Peakley is so low, and the Unstoppable is not going to be enough. Ornn is not that strong yet, and Temple is going to fall into the tower. Nice kill from Shadeslayer, playing well under there. Going to try and clear the wave so he cannot get dove again. But they might just try for this. The Rek'Sai is going to use that tunnel, going to unburrow, but the Prowler's Call going to put him behind. But the Umbral Trespass might keep him alive for a little bit longer, but Shadeslayer going to flash forward. But it's not going to mean much, because he is going to fall, but that healing is going to keep him alive. And Mako going to take a lot of damage. Bliss almost falls too. So, well played from Shadeslayer. Almost being able to take a kill back there.
Yeah, that was really well played. He used his aura to his advantage because, as soon as Bliss got behind him with Prowler's Claw, he's like, I'm going to press R and I'm just going to E and run and see if you die by tower.
So, the Kane is also very, very far behind if you look at the CS department. Just under 40 behind. Not what you want to see from the Kane.
And he doesn't have his form yet either. So, like, that is, you don't want to see that for ROTM.
That's a naked Kane here. Formless. But Temple, looking for something. The root is going to miss from Mako. But they are going to be able to walk under the tower, stay alive for now. But this could just be a nice Rift Herald as Bliss does spawn up now.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like so far this game is going in PvE's favor. They are super far ahead of gold. They are about I would say, 8K. What is that? A 8k? Yeah, about almost 8k, almost 9k gold lead. Up on Return of the Middle Sticks right now. Return of the Middle Sticks needs to, get to that late game scaling. They need to start farming. They need to start trying to see if they can get picks. Trying to get their shutdown golds. They already got Morganas and they got Caitlyn's. They just need to get that Victor's and Rek'Sai's shutdown gold.
The motive is to try and get those shutdowns onto that Jinx, onto that Anivia right now. Things are not looking very, very good, however, with that gigantic gold deficit. And things are not going to plan right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, I feel like you need the shutdown gold onto the Anivia. And the reason you want to shut down on Anivia because Anivia, I feel like Anivia is your early, mid to late game champ. Anivia is an all-around champion. She does well in all phases of the game.
Oh, Monster is getting shredded there under his own tower, but Peakley might be getting dove here. He might just take this tower here right under his nose, but here comes the engage. The Fly going to be hit up by the Ornn Horn, and Shadeslayer is going to try for something here. E forward from the Ornn, that dash is not going to be enough, but here comes the stun, going to land. Nice one from Oath. The Glacial Storm going to try and do some damage, and Oath is going to be able to claim that one here. Leandre is claiming that kill.
That was a really nice engage by Oath. If you didn't realize, the Fly flashed
awkward landing, but Monster taking so much damage already. Dallas forced to flash.
But as I was saying, you want to get your Anivia super far ahead because as you've seen in the bot lane, Victor is just running them over with his damage. Like even Orin can't stand against him.
So the problem with that play made there is they're just fighting under their tier 3 while there's a fight going on the top side. I think they should just try and sacrifice this tier 1 and maybe get some work done elsewhere around the map. Things are not going very well. Dragon is up and they've given up complete control down in that bot side jungle. Vision.
Yeah, you wanna give
behind.
your if you're behind, you wanna give your first tier tower. You don't want to if you're losing, you don't want to keep on defending your first tier tower because it's not going to benefit you at all. Because you're just going to keep, like, because they're just going to tower dive you over and over again. If you have your second tier tower, it's in between your third tier. So it's easier to defend than it is the first tier.
So this is going to be Drake number 3 going in the favor of PVE. They're going to take this one, peak play up in the top side. Not going to be able to match that. They did use the TP from Temple. So that is one cooldown burn, but I do not know if they knew that was happening. It was done outside of vision. So they won't probably have a timer on that cooldown. However, this just does give PvE that soul win condition. Even if things go super late, that Ocean Soul is going to be enough to output a lot. But Mako might be caught on the wrong side of the wall. But the knock-up not going to come through. Beautiful spell shield going to keep him alive.
Yeah,
they're just able to walk away.
That Black Shield was actually really good. He was able to withstand the Seraphine E. He was able to withstand the Kayn W, and he was also able to withstand the Anivia stun.
Yep, he was able to stay alive for quite a bit of time there and able to burn almost no cooldowns. But look at this Victor's build. He has the Leandri's Anguish and also has that Void Staff and Ionian Boots of Lucidity. He is going to shred every single member on the side of Return of the Middle Sticks already, shredding through, basically doing true damage at this point.
Yeah, no, Victor, on top of that you have Victor, like, it just...
He is super strong already.
He's just so far ahead. He just finished.
Dallas might be caught in a bad spot. Knockup's coming through. He's just going to be permanently CC'd, unstoppable from Orin. But they have to give this kill over to the Kayn, and Temple is there, but he's not going to be able to do much. He doesn't have the damage on his own. He's a setup champion.
That was a 900 shutdown going to that Kayn, which is really good. Is Kayn still... Yeah, Kayn has not completed his form yet.
No, he has red form. He has red form.
Oh, he has red form now? Okay,
yep.
That's weird. Guess him update the image. Because usually it updates the image.
So he does have that red form, so he is going to be looking for those knockups with that W, with that Reaping Slash. He's going to look for those. And he's going to be able to sustain through a lot, but overall, it's not going to mean very much into like, the likes of the Rek'Sai or the...
PvE needs to be careful here. They can't give too much over, because if they give too much over, it gives Return to the Middle Sticks their late game scaling, and you don't want that if you're PvP. You don't want to have them to go to late game. You don't want them to get the Orin items, to get Jinx to get items, to get ahead. You don't want Kayn to get items where he just basically becomes like a mini Aatrox and just sit there and just do a bunch of damage but not take any damage.
It's very rough right now. They need to try and buy themselves some more time. But Jadeslayer might be caught in a bad spot. Flash forward is going to mean a lot of damage going on to the Fly. And the Kayn might just be able to claim up this kill. The Chomper's doing a lot of work. And here comes the Ornhorn. Jake's able to claim this one. There's a lot of work happening here. Bliss is going to fall. Is able to claim that kill onto the Kayn, but Peakley is in the right spot at the right time. Flash forward. Is able to claim that one, 700 gold for that Ornn. Temple can land a nice flash body slam onto Oath and Beepox, but nice flash from Beepox going to keep him alive. Mako taking so much damage, but Macho going to fall to the pool. That damage is insane, and Oath going to try and kill Mako there, but not able to land anything, unfortunately. But this is Dallas taking the inhib.
Yeah, and the entire time they're fighting, they're not realizing that
their base
Dallas
is in shambles. And Peakley has no chance. The Ornn has no magic resistance. That Dallas already has that Void Staff. He is basically doing true damage. It hurts.
Yeah, he has his Void Staff with his Leandri. He's just gonna out damage what the Ornn can actually take.
Uh-oh, Dallas might be able to kill Oath here. The stopwatch is beautiful from Oath. He might be able to flash out, but here comes the resurrection. Is this Phoenix going to be able to fly again? No, he is not. Dallas taking this one. And Beepots is caught in a bad spot to fly and Mako right there. Ooh, flash form from the Fly going to take that one. Nice mechanics coming out from him.
Yeah, that was amazing rotation by Mako. I feel like if Mako was not there, both Gayfinder Temple and Dallas would have fallen.
The fly, beautiful play from him.
Yeah, and then that flash play by the fly was really good. You know, it got him to get the games, and that's what we wanted.
And this is going to just be another Baron for PVE. They're putting in so much work here.
I feel like Return of Mystics could actually, you know, contest against this Baron. You know,
Kane is on the bot side, however, so that is not
but
happening.
I don't even think PVE. I don't think Return of Mystics even know they're doing it.
They know now,
Yeah,
but
I
it's a
think-
little
yeah,
too late. And no, oh, he walked on a trap. Why would you do that? He's gonna fall, but a 3-man encore from the Seraphine is not gonna mean much because there's no damage following him.
Yeah.
It's only Picle, it's only the Ornn, and Seraphine is gonna fall for nothing after burning her ultimate.
What is Return of the Metal Six doing? Like,
And Dallas is looking to end the game. Is this X-Peke B-Pot's taking so much damage? He's gonna fall. Is that double? If that Worlds, is that crown? But here comes Picle with the Ornn Horn. It's gonna land. Double knockup. He is stuck in a bad spot. Dallas gonna fall. So no X-Peke. We only have crown here today in the form of Dallas, but he's gonna take the kill. Oh my goodness. Shade Slayer is gonna fall to that Chaos Storm, and Dallas putting in mad work. He is crowned today. Nate, call him king. And this is just going to be another Drake for PvE. This is going to be Soul Point, and it's just looking very, very doomed for Return of the Middle Sticks, unfortunately.
I don't know if Return of the Middle Sticks turn off their monitors when it comes to the fly, because I feel like it just happened like last week when PvE I mean last time when PvE played, where Dallas was just Mordekaiser and was able just to take 3 towers. Like, what?
They're just letting objectives fall, unfortunately. It is not enough. But Dallas is putting in so much work here. He has finished the Archangel staff. He is sitting at 3 items and a half, sitting on that nice, needlessly large rod. The NLR giving him a lot of work here. He is going to be outputting so much numbers right now. He is playing very, very well. Has gotten caught out a couple times, but that doesn't matter when you're.
It doesn't matter when you're in their base
every
taking the inhibitor and Nexus towers. Like, why your team is too busy trying to go in one at a time when the enemy team has Baron. Like, what?
It's not going very, very well. Although it was going to be Picle who was able to take that kill, though. Or not Picle. It was going to be Shade Slayer taking that one. But ooh. They are going to push this mid lane here. Going to probably take this tier 2 with the last of their Baron. They have just over 50 seconds. But the Encore is going to be stopwatched by Mako. Nice Zonias, but Blitz coming in onto the back line. Going to try and take down B-Pots, but the Exhaust is doing so much work. B-Pots is going to fall to that Void Rush, and Picle stuck on the front line is not going to be able to tank enough. And the wall is going to keep Blitz stuck in place, and he is going to fall. Going to try and take down Monster on the back end, but not able to. But this is just going to be tier 2 taken. That is a 1 for 2.
He provided so much time for his team to just take the tower.
Oh no, Shade Slayer stuck in a bad spot, got rooted up, and was perma CC till his death. The Fly doing so much work here, and so is Dallas pushing in that top side. This is going to be a second hit and it's going to shortly be a third as Dallas pushes in this top lane.
This is game.
This could be a game-ending push, but their Baron is running out in 10 seconds, so they might have the damage to actually take down these minions before they reach the towers.
They have so many minions in the enemy base right now. I don't see them, you know.
Ooh, nice stun from He'll make a Death Rocket, not gonna do enough, but Dallas is just walking up past the Nexus towers, doing so much work, but here comes the Ornn Horn. He's gonna land onto the Fly, taking so much work. Flash forward is gonna be able to claim that kill. Nice one from B-Pots. He would put in so much work. I was gonna auto a minion. Dallas putting in a lot of damage here, but he is stuck in the middle of 3, but he's able to claim that one. Leandri's Anguish can do that. Shade Slayer is gonna try, but Dallas gonna flash. Picle is gonna try. Oh, nice unstoppable from the Ornn. The Exploding Class not gonna mean that much from the Gragas. But Dallas knocked up is going to be caught out by the Anivia Glacial Storm. Good job, Oath. And the Rek'Sai is here now. This is a 4v3. But Morgana's caught out. Mako going to fall. Everfrost is going to land onto 2. Matsuro already taken a 1 HP. Here comes the Rek'Sai. And Shade Slayer is doing so much work. Temple is not going to be able to kill him. But the Anivia is stuck in egg form. Bliss is just going to wail on him as he is stuck here. The Phoenix is not going to fly today. But Shade Slayer is trying to kill this Gragas. He's tried. He is able to claim up this kill. But here comes the Rek'Sai. This is going to be another 1v1 here. The Void Projectile is going to miss. But here comes Rek'Sai tunneling over. But Shade Slayer is going to try and stay alive. Is going to be able to heal up with that trip into the wall. And Bliss is very, very sad.
My question is, yeah, you did kill the Gragas, but you let your Anivia die for no reason.
Interview fell on the backside of that one, and that is where most of your wave clear comes from. They cannot do any damage to these supers. They're gonna lose the Nexus Tower.
Yeah, no, this looks like there's gonna be minions. It looks like the minions are just gonna overrun their base. They have no inhibitors anymore, no Nexus towers. So all PV needs to do is just get one good team fight, and they can end the game.
It is looking very, very rough. They have the damage, they have the output to be able to take out these.
And if they really wanted to, they could just wait until they get Ocean Soul.
They could go for the safe play, they could go for Ocean Soul, but Temple is here. They are looking to end this game right here, right now. Here we go. Dallas is landing a beautiful Chaos Storm onto 3. It's doing so much damage. Here comes Peak Lake with the Ornhorn. Is it going to land? It is not. He's going to be forced to flash by Encore onto Dallas. He's going to be rooted up and shut down for the Jinx. Bliss is trying, they might end this game, but Shadeslayer is going to fall on the front side, protecting his towers, but the enemy is going to fall. Oath is trying. The Fly is putting out so much work here. Ace in the hole is going to come out. It's going to do so much damage. That Void Projectile is going to take that kill. Bliss dive into the towers is going to fall, and this is going to be game. Peakley trying his hardest. The Ornn is not enough. Peakley may be amazing on Ornn, but his Ornn was not enough here, and that is game number 2 going in favor of PVE.
Takes the leaderboards in Pool B. They prove that they are the best team in Pool B.
Yes, sir. That is correct. Here we go. Beautiful, beautiful play from PVE. They are going to take this one home. Super, super well played. And unfortunately,
insane to watch. I feel like, in my opinion, if I had to give MVP to anyone on the M&A team, it had to be Oath. Oath did really well that game. He tried so hard to, to do the damage, to keep it up. Yes, Peakley did play well. He only died 3 times, but the issues I have with Peakley is that, first of all, he never utilized his TP. He only utilized it once. That, didn't do anything with it, and he got solo killed. I feel like he could have done more with Ornn than what he did. He did have really good, Ornn horns. And then Kane just kept on running it down, it seemed like. Kane kept on fighting. It took him way too long to get his form. And then you have Seraphine and Jinx. Jinx just did no damage because she had Conqueror. You do not want the Conqueror and Jinx. You're not going to out-damage the Caitlyn. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's Caitlyn Morgana. You're always going to lose that lane. And then you have Seraphine, who just could not pretty much do anything all game. She just kind of was she was just kind of a meat shield for them because, one auto from the Fly, one stun from Mako, or one E or Q from Dallas, and they're just dead.
Well, we are going to discuss this game a little bit further after our player of the game discussion. So, who do you think deserves player of the game here? What do you think?
Player of the game, I think, should go to Dallas. He played out of his mind. He was literally taking objectives left and right while his team was just sitting there, just fighting the enemy team, and he was just using it as his advantage that they weren't paying attention, and he literally won them the game.
He was taking objectives all over the map. He was everywhere. This man was walking over everyone. He was almost like Peke, but he was crowned today. He did not take down the back door, but he was able to one-shot an 80 carry without much trouble. Good job, Dallas. So, well played from everyone on PVE. They played this game super, super well. No rough early game for them. They were the ones in the driver's seat for all the game, and they did not throw a single time. They took everything. They were given an inch, and they took a mile. Great job. So we'll see you guys in just a second. Player of the game is active. You guys can vote for that one. So we'll see you guys in just a little bit. And we'll see you back on the desk. Take care. We'll see you back in 5 minutes.
Red skies, the heat of August. It's been a long time, but not enough changes. We should go back to strangers, saying everything that I ever wanted, honest. But I feel too late.
Sinaki o sinaki, dumujar majote, dukhoni hiyar apahoni, kinu palu heru alu, kinu dilu nu bujilu, aji okol kore moyu ka পৃথিবী ক্লান্তহীন জীৱনত সপোনৰে মাজত দিলিন মাথো তোমাৰে সুৰত
Welcome back, everyone. So it is going to be Mr. Dallas, the Dallas differential here, happening as your player of the game for game number 2. And yes, he did die 6 times, but that doesn't matter when you're allowed to do what you want for most of the game anyways. He was able to get those objectives. He was able to clap everyone's cheeks here. He was able to take down almost everyone on the enemy team at least 5 times over. He was doing so much work here up in that mid lane. He did get solo killed, but that doesn't matter when you're ahead 15 CS at like 3 minutes. He was super far ahead for most of the game, or if not even, he did get solo killed, but who cares when you're able to keep up in CS? And we all know that you are able to farm out kills as long as you aren't griefing and dying 10 times a game. So he was able to keep up, he was able to stay ahead, and he just played this game incredibly, incredibly well.
Yeah, it was just insane to watch Return to Middlesex let Dallas just do what he wanted. Dallas was behind most of the game, and they just let him free farm and just stack up gold so much that he was just able just to run them down with pure damage. And you don't want to see that when you see a Victor. You don't want Victor to just able to just CS, because that's how he gets his Hextech core upgrades, is by CS and getting kills.
So I think a lot of the issues that did happen in game number 2 had to do with some jungle pathing inefficiencies, as well as some unfortunate ganks that did set that Kane very far behind. But even though he was behind because of that kill down in the bot lane,
He played well. He did pick up 6 kills for his team. He tried his hardest to play, but the issue is, you went red Kane. I agree with my fellow caster here. So blue Kane would have been so much better if you're gonna go Kane, because you have the mobility to just move around Gragas, Caitlyn,
Morgana.
Morgana, and Victor. You're able to dodge their abilities, and you're able just to go in, do a crap ton of damage, and give your team that setup they needed to do a team wipe. But the issue is, you were red Kane, so you're forced to frontline, and what happened every single time is that you would go in, and either you were forced to R super super early, or you just got stunned by Victor
Exactly.
or Morgana, to the point where you're just sitting there doing nothing.
So it was definitely going to be that form issue that did happen, and he did get his form relatively late into the game. He was not able to affect the map as early as most Canes do
And on
want
top
to.
of that, he left Oath to die way too many times. There were times where they would go in as a team with him and Kane, and Oath would just, was try to do as much damage as he can. Don't forget, he's playing a Nivea. He doesn't have that much HP. He doesn't have, he has a bunch of damage but not HP. He went in was as with Oath, and Oath was just able to just die because he left Oath to go chase like a Gragas, or he just leaves Oath because he wants to like chase another kill or do something else. It just made no sense. Like, if you're gonna go with your teammate, stick with your teammate 24/7. Don't just go in there
Mhm.
and 50% it or 20% it, because because you never want, if you're gonna do a play, always 100% the play. Never do 50. Never 50% of play. Always 100% it,
I think.
because either it's gonna turn out good or turn out bad.
Mhm. So I think one thing that was an issue here was just not playing towards your identity as a team. They want to play front to back, or the team that they did draft wants to play front to back, especially since they did opt for that red cane. So they want to play every fight front to back, so they need to perform it that way. But unfortunately, they weren't able to get to that stage because they were so far behind. Their identity fell apart because of that, and they weren't able to play towards it. So they needed to create an adaptation, but they weren't able to, and like they needed to adapt. They needed to find ways to get gold on the map, and a lot of it could have been done through vision control, placing those wards down. And yes, it's very hard, but you need to give CS to walk as a 3-man into your jungle and place some wards into the enemy jungle, place some wards, and try and get kills that way. Try and get some gold onto your carries that way, because it's very, very hard to play front to back when you're behind. So you have to find other avenues to get ahead through, or to
And
even
the
out the gold through.
issue, and what they should have realized is that the issue in during draft, they should have realized they couldn't play that, because if you try to play front and the back, you leaving the Caitlyn and you leaving the Victor to do way too much damage to you.
I,
So they needed to do back to front.
I see what they
They
were
they
going for though. They do out DPS
Mhm.
with the Anivia the with the Jinx, but it requires a lot of setup and a lot of thought behind. They need to
Mhm.
have the right situation in order to get that DPS window, and unfortunately, they were just too far behind to be able to create those windows. We did see Oath output a lot of damage. We did see the Jinx output some decent numbers during some of these fights, but it was just too far or too late, too little, too late. Unfortunately.
And then my other thing is, I personally do not like Conquer on Jinx. I think it's really bad. I understand why people go it, because you're going for the sustain, you're going for the long drawn out fights. But in my opinion, Jinx is all about the attack speed. She's all about getting her autos out as fast as possible, getting her Qs out as fast as possible. And I feel like that's the reason why Caitlyn was able to still run them over, because she was shooting out autos and getting her passive. Like, I think she was proccing her pass like 2 or 3 times a fight.
That
And
headshot is
normally
very,
you
very
don't
devastating.
see, yeah, normally you don't see that on a Caitlyn. And that was just from him autoing. That wasn't from him doing traps or his nets. No, that was him. He was getting his passive that quickly by just autoing, because he had the lethal tempo.
hmm
And
So overall, I think they need to figure out how to play from behind, because they did put themselves in that situation with a couple of unfortunate ganks that didn't turn results, and
mhm,
those were very risky ganks. You know that it's very hard to gank a Caitlyn Morgana because they have ways to turn it with the CC, and your laners were low. So they needed to find other ways to play from behind, and unfortunately, they just weren't able to. It is a very difficult situation, but it was very preventable, unfortunately.
yeah, I do agree. Some of the ganks were kind of wonky. I feel like Return of Middlesex put way too much on bot lane. Um, they try to gank. Kane try to gank, and Oath try to rotate the bot way too much, because they didn't. Because if you saw, every time they ganked the fly, every time they ganked Mako, they either they'll get one or nothing.
hmm
Yeah, you get some summoners, but the fly and Mako would leave with like 2 or 3 kills.
We did say that they gave a bunch of inches, but we saw the PVE players just
Yeah,
take a
and
bunch of miles back.
yeah,
They were able to take a little
they
advantage and spin it.
yeah they took the inches they were given and turned it into miles.
hmm
They turned the game into their advantage by using by using their disadvantages against the enemy team. They used that there were squishy bot lane that they're easy to gank, but the problem is, can you get on them? Because
Hmm.
as you saw, Caitlyn was landing insane traps. Morgana was landing insane binds.
Definitely. So I think if Middle Sticks were able to come back from this game, what they needed to gather was just a little bit of, I think, shot calling decision making. They needed to
Mm.
make some better decisions, but they also needed to make decisions as a team or follow the decisions of one player, because the calls that were made just didn't really make a lot of sense. They were giving a lot of neutral, or not neutral. They gave a lot of neutral objectives, yes, but they also gave up a lot of objectives on their sides of the map and were not trading it. They were giving up their tier 2s, they were giving up their tier 3s, and not taking anything back. They weren't getting vision in the enemy jungle. They weren't getting tier 1s on the other side of the map. They were just letting PvE take what they wanted. And I think even if you are going to give that inhib down in that bot lane, yes, you can do that, but you need to be able to take something. And like maybe just give that inhib entirely and walk up as 5 and do something up in that top side. But they just didn't make those decisions. They had a lot of split calls, and that just let Dallas walk over them.
Mm.
So,
And like I said, I do agree.
so they need to,
And
like you
this
said,
is
stick with the
only
decision.
this is only one. This is
One
one game
series
they
doesn't
lost.
matter.
One
One
series.
series.
It's not a best of five. Best of fives can be completely different. Yeah, it was it was best of I guess say three,
Hmm.
and PV did take a too low, but that doesn't best of fives can completely be turned around.
A 2-0 doesn't mean
So
anything in a best of 5.
so it could be completely different. Like the next, if this was best of five, PV could, I mean, Return of Middlesex could just win the next 3 games out
Hmm.
of nowhere, just by the information they've gained from the first 2 games.
Definitely.
So I would love to see this team learn from their mistakes, learn what they need to work on, and come back even stronger than they were, because
We,
they are
mhm.
still a high contending team.
We've seen they have strong laners. They just unfortunately were not able to convert those advantages.
Mhm.
Because Oath was getting some solo kills, Peakley was getting solo kills. They were doing work. They were getting their jobs done, but they just unfortunately were not able to turn it into enough of an advantage to put PvE out of the game.
And I do agree with that. And the same thing goes with PV. PV did make some mistakes.
Mm.
Uh, Dallas got caught out quite a bit in game
Thank
one,
you for the
and
raid, Ice Satch
he
Man.
um did get first blood to Ari in game one by trying to tower diver, stuff like that. They have the little things to work on, but
Hmm.
overall they played really well as a team. They came with a game plan. They execute really well, and they came out as they are now the top of their pool.
Hmm. Sitting at 7-1, they are almost undefeated, so they're looking very, very strong as the split does wind down. We do have a couple more weeks left here, so we'll see how things do unfold. So we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. We have the LRS draft or LRS Premade taking place here, where I'll be back on the desk looking to see what happens tomorrow. And we also have LTS down on Friday, Legends podcast coming up on Saturday night, and Valorant throughout the weekend. So we'll see you guys. Hope to see you throughout the rest of the week too. Have a good night, everyone, and take care. We'll see you in a couple, maybe like just under 24 hours. We'll see you then.